Alright, so we're on this bitch. And yeah, this is the first Balisong Underground. Fuck, I already fucked that up. Jesus Christ.
Way to go. Way to set the precedent for the rest of the episodes.
Yeah, well, this is the first one and we're getting it going, so, what else can you really do? I'm Faulty Ply. I've been flipping for God knows how long.
Like 4 years?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years, something like that. And I'm here with my other host, Stuart Hobson.
Feenx Fire, a.k.a. I've been flipping for, what year is it? 2020? So about 13 years-ish? Ugh.
Yeah, me and you both came around right around the 2007, 2008
Right
area.
when the flipping asylum was dying and people were going to Blade forums and...
The flipping asylum was dead, essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, YouTube was kicking off.
It was just getting there.
Yeah, I think my first YouTube video, which was outside of, Balisongs and whatnot, before I really was allowed to get into them, I think was right around 2016 or so. Or 2006. Wow. God, if that doesn't explain things right there. So, I think we have a good cast to bring here. We should mention that Sir Billiam Boyd, is not with us today. He's going to be joining us down the road. He's not very good at making plans, so he's not here. But
he's the worst at making plans out of all three of us because we are all really bad at making plans.
Well, the reason why he's bad at making plans is because he's more responsible than us.
Well, he has too many plans.
Yeah. So
we don't have lives like these nerds do.
Yeah, all I've really got is Balisong and tacos and some bass guitars. Which is
I've got TV and Balisong, so doing better than I am.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can bring this podcast up, give some people some insight on some things, that's really the goals we want to hit here is, bring on some outside people, bring in some companies, talk about stuff, there's not enough public information, not like a good one source of information along the Balisong community. And it would be great to hear not only a bunch of people with experience, me, you, Billiam, discussing these topics, but actually hearing things from the source.
And what are we giving these listeners insight into? What exactly is it that we're going to be letting them in on? They don't have access to otherwise.
Well, for one, they can get a lot more information quicker by just tuning into our show. I'm sure we'll be talking with big companies like Ed or Ed BRS. Yeah,
Tomato.
Yeah, same guy. Like BRS will probably be on here. Hom will probably be on here. I'm sure we'll get...
Probably, huh?
Yeah.
I think I know a guy or two.
Yeah, we might know a couple people in the industry for sure. So, but that's going to be a good part of this, is we're going to be able to get you really good quality information. And not only that, but you can get to hear and see all of these idols that some people look up to. Some people come, even up to me and you, I'm sure you've heard, is like, oh man, it's Feenx Fire. It's like, oh, it's Faulty Ply.
It's been a Blade show or two since I've heard that.
Yeah.
But, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, no doubt, dude.
I'm not on Instagram long enough to have that kind of clout anymore.
The only person who does that to us anymore is Paul Factora.
Oh, I love Paul.
Dude, Paul's awesome. Dude. Yeah, man.
Paul Factora, as we were speaking of.
Yeah, if you guys don't know who Paul Factora is, you really should. If you've seen the Balisong 29 t-shirts that everybody rocks in the community, if you've seen the Way of the Balisong movie, in fact...
Or even the Balisong 29 shirts. He's... 9 years in the future with those things?
Yeah, dude, that's what I just said, buddy.
You said Balisong 2019.
Did I say 2019? Wow, man.
Yeah, I was listening, son. Yeah, I'm here.
Jeez.
I'm present. I'm not full of tacos.
We're already butchering this thing. This is already bad.
No, this is great.
Oh, man. I think Paul just got back from the Philippines right now. He was over there on vacation doing some, family
I wouldn't
visiting.
call it a vacation. He's been helping out with the people with the tall volcano eruption, right?
Well, that happened while he was over there. So
Oh.
that's kind of what I was getting to. Is he was over there finishing up some things with maybe Diosdado Ona, the guy who makes all the FHMs and tail.
So it's pronounced Geostato, I recently learned.
All right.
Yeah, I know. It makes no sense. It starts with a D, but it sounds like a G.
Yeah, I
Like some
mean,
people say GIF,
you're
but it's
Puerto
actually
Rican. You
pronounced
know how to
GIF.
say God, you know?
Yeah, Jod. Duh.
So, you guys just learned some Spanish today. But yeah, Paul was over there helping out him and Erica Rixfern getting a lot of stuff done, and he just got back. So hopefully he'll be one of our first people we have on the show here, because a lot of people don't understand exactly what he does and how much he has actually done.
Hell,
Because
I don't even understand all of that.
well, I'm sure you've heard of it. Most of us have seen it. People have called out Paul thinking he's just trying to get free trips to the Philippines and stuff like
Oh
that. But
no.
yeah, you and I know, because we're probably some of the most interviewed people in this documentary that he's doing.
Time served, man.
That when he's not been able to make it out to a Bali event, he's paid cameramen to come out.
Yeah, he's got
just
somebody there.
Yeah, just to get some sound bites and some video clips. So he's not just throwing away money just because it's fun.
No, the money's going towards something.
Yeah, he's taking care of it. Worst comes to worst, we got a bunch of cool T-shirts. I got a bunch of cool T-shirts.
I got
I
like
got a nice
two.
hat. You know.
I think my girlfriend has one of, or maybe two of them. I didn't even get a hat. Oh no, I gave that to my girlfriend too.
Yeah,
Never mind.
I don't know if you gave it to her, because like, dude, the day my
No,
hat
he gave it
showed
to
up,
me. I gave it to her.
dude, the day
Or
my
she
hat showed
took
up,
it.
she's making videos in your hat. So I mean, it wasn't very long.
Nah, I rock them snapbacks. My head's too small. My brain's not too big, so the fitted caps that he sends out don't exactly fit.
Oh yeah, dude, I can't rock snapbacks. I hate them so much.
I have to unsnap it, take it about 3 notches in, snap it up, and it fits. Good to go.
Yeah, it's not really my style. I've always rocked the flex fits, and BRS knows that, because BRS has got a lot of nice flex fits. In fact, I think those are the only hats that B29 has done, has been flex fits.
Yeah, makes me wish I had a bigger head. That's why I gave it to my girlfriend, because she's got more hair than me and a big fat head.
Oh jeez, we'll edit that out so she doesn't have to hear that.
Nope.
Oh man, I think the only other clothing company that's making hats is Illa Manila. Dude, I'm impressed with those guys. Those guys have pumped out a lot of Bali content really quick.
They pumped out a lot of Bally merch, for sure. I haven't seen any content, though.
Well, no, okay, yeah, that's fair. They've been putting out merch. I think they're kind of not on the inside on how things go.
We could change that.
Yeah, yeah, we totally could. The part of the thing is their brand. They really try to heavily promote Filipinos and the Filipino arts and cultures.
Oh.
So
Oh,
being a couple
Manila.
white
Oh, that
boys,
makes sense.
we're
I'm not white.
we're not exactly prime material, but shit, man, we can get Devin Yolo. He's Filipino.
Hey, I totally rock an Illa Manila pin on my backpack that I normally carry on weekends when I'm not at home. It totally has a Illa Manila Balisong pin on it. Love that
Yeah,
thing.
dude, I've got a ton of those things, man. Those things are awesome.
It really is a
The
good pin.
Playboy Bunny one, that one's really
No, this
sick.
one's the one I have is just a Balisong that's
Just the
kind of
Bally.
open. Looks like a peace sign with a circle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe, dude, maybe we'll even get those guys on here, because I'm sure they could talk about a bunch of cool shit. Like, they
Oh, that'd be
sponsor
dope.
a bunch of skateboarders down in the Philippines.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where they originally started their branding, and their company was they were sponsoring these guys out in the Philippines, doing some skating and things like that.
Oh.
They have a couple of full-length skating videos of all of their guys over there. Mac Feliciano is one of those guys. I believe he's won a bunch of Asian tournaments as far as skateboarding, like Dew Tours and things like that. There's another guy named like Kenneth and Evangelistica, something like that. Something Spanish and Asian that I can't pronounce. It's
I,
just
I honestly have no idea. Well, I don't know anything about the company. I just know they make a few pieces of Sick Valley merchandise. And that's about the extent of my knowledge of the company. I would love to get to know more about them. So I would love to have folks like those on. The people that maybe not myself are ignorant to or unaware of, but just brands in general that people don't know enough about.
there was another company actually from down here in Fort Lauderdale that I was working with for a little while. They fell off the map super quick, but they were called what or like what clothing and goods. You might have
Huh.
seen it, the magic mushroom T-shirt and all that crazy shit.
That rings a bell. I'd have to see a picture of it, but it sounds
Yeah,
vaguely familiar.
yeah. They tried for a while, but they didn't get anything going. It's a bit of a shame. I think that's kind of something that is maybe a little bit lacking in the Bali community. Is there's not as much outward style going on, and I don't think that everybody is extremely keen on having a Balisong on their back or on the front of their T-shirt. Just going out in public places. Especially depending on where you live. I mean,
Yeah,
even
yeah, especially depending on where you live. California, Tennessee, that's black and white. I can get away with it here in Tennessee, but
yeah,
in
I
more
would say most
suburban
places.
areas, it's a little off-putting.
Yeah, most places with a suburban area is probably going to be tough. California, New York, Washington, places like that.
Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon is kind of
Well, I
one of
guess
those
Oregon not
places.
so
It
much. They're
depends
kind of
where
right in the
you're at.
middle. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you're right.
because one thing about Portland is it's the knife making capital pretty much of the world. I don't know if you knew that, but you have Matt
I
Cook
did
is out
not.
there,
I knew there were a
Kershaw's
few
out there.
makers and a few brands out there, but I didn't realize it was that populated.
Yeah, Kershaw's out there, which means you have, Shun, Bradley, and, all those KAI brands. You have Matt Cook, you have Benchmade, Gerber.
Yeah, I knew Benchmade and Gerber were out there. Yeah.
Yeah, Leatherman is out there.
Oh,
Dude, I was riding the public bus going to Benchmade one day, and I was wearing my Balisong 29 hoodie, and the hoodies have a bunch of blades on the back. So if you've ever seen
yep.
that original Pacific Edge Cutlery or Pacific Cutlery Corporation original flyer, they had a bunch of different blades that were available on their Balisongs that you could order, from Amada high hollow points to double-edged spear points to
Oh, Imada.
Tontos. That's another guy I want to have on this show. That's going to be the hardest guy to get.
Oh,
But
yes. Oh, it won't be that difficult, but it will take some elbow
yeah,
grease.
it'll take some elbow grease, but I think we'll be able to get him. Especially if this thing takes off, man. Because I think Jeff Amata has a soft spot for Balisongs. I mean, it's kind of how he started.
Oh, most definitely.
And that's what's kind of funny about a lot of these makers as well is a lot of the big folder makers and stuff like that in the industry. A lot of these guys started out making Balisongs. Emerson, that's probably the most popular one as of recently because he did make his after so long. But before he started making all of his folders, like what, 30 something years ago, he was in
Yeah.
a Kali class, and Kali is a Filipino martial art where
Kali?
Kali, I don't remember. Yeah,
Kali?
Kali.
I always thought it was pronounced Kali. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm white boy pronouncing it here, so. But the martial art is largely focused around weapons
Yeah,
and
yeah.
handling them and disarming them. So he was in that class in California back when everything was still legal out there. And
Way back when, huh?
yeah, and it was really hard to get a Balisong back then. Like, they were shipping some of those back over from Japan and stuff like that back in, like the old Taylors, the old Valors.
Back from Sato,
Um,
right?
yeah, Sato as well. I think Sato was with Taylor, I believe.
I
I
thought
can't
Sato,
remember.
Japan was the city in which they were all being produced, or in which most of them are being produced.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
That gives us something to look into.
Yeah, one of the companies had Sato in front of it, like Sato Valor or Sato Taylor. I can't
Oh,
remember.
okay.
But yeah, they had man, they made a lot of cool shit back then because you had like the old brass handle 29 centimeter knives,
Yeah.
like, and just to kind of put things in perspective, like what an Alpha Beast, which is a fairly big knife, is short of 10 inches overall.
I think it's
I
just
think
over. It's like 10.1, 10.2
it's really
inches.
close.
Do you remember Straight Gallus?
Yes, dude, he had that 6 inch big boy.
Yeah, it was like a 14-inch overall brass handle Balisong
Yeah,
he used to compete with. Oh.
I don't think it was actually brass handled. I think it was one of those Zamac ones that was
Ah.
just painted because it
Okay.
had that really crazy design. It was like my first Bally, those stainless Ross Frey.
Yep.
They have those skeletonized Zamac handles, and they have
Yep.
like that paint splatter blue or paint splatter red. Those the ones that most of us started on.
Still, that motherfucker was 4 inches larger than an Alpha Beast. That's huge.
Yeah, man. Which is you know back then you had a lot of guys where you didn't complain too much about the knife you're flipping. You flipped the knife
Mm-hmm.
that you had because it was a cool knife to have.
Yep.
That was the mindset back then. It was like, oh, that thing is sweet looking. I want to flip that.
Didn't matter what brand it was back then.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember doing with Knife Zoid, one of the BRS guys. He did a pass around back in the day with the Zabo fly.
Oh
And
yeah.
and everybody was lighting it up, and of course, some people said, yeah, it's hard to flip because you have two way, way, way differently weighted handles. I mean, we're talking by probably a full ounce. you know,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I touched them.
but people were still flipping them.
Yeah. Shit. I remember when the first Bradley came out. I think it was before the Kimura. I forget what it was called. It wasn't a Mayhem, but it was like a Kimura, but it wasn't skeletonized. It had rounded handles with like chevrons cut into it.
That was a Kimura. That was the original Kimura.
Was it the original one? Okay, I remember getting that in one of my very first pass arounds, and it was just mind blowing to me after flipping, an Archangel and a BM46, and it just felt so foreign.
Yeah, it was. It really kind of changed knives. The Balisong, I should say, but the Bradley did because that was like the first bottom end Balisong.
I
Short of
hesitate to use the word bottom.
short of CCCs.
Yeah, it was a step above, but it was more consumer friendly than your typical production knives at that time.
Yeah, I think they were selling for $80 when they first came out.
Yep.
Maybe it was 90, but it
No,
was
I
definitely
think it
under
was it was
100.
about 80.
Because then they came out with the Bradley 2, which was the same thing except it had the skeletonized handles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was that same leaf
And then
blade and
along with
everything.
that came the 3 and the 4.
Yep. Yeah, the different blade profiles on it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of how I consider it because at the time, there wasn't a lot of Balisongs to buy.
No, not at all. I mean, nothing was in production at that point except for the 32 and the 51.
No, when the Bradley came out, the 42 was still in production.
Really? I thought
Yeah.
that stopped in the late 90s or the early aughts.
Well, we did Faytalk, for those that don't know, on the Flipping
Flipping
Arena.
Arena Tournament of Champions.
Yes. The second place or first place prize, I can't remember what it was, but it was the Bradley
Yep.
Kimura one, and I believe that was 2008.
But
And
I
the
mean,
42,
the 42s weren't in production at that point, were they?
yeah, they were up until 2010.
Oh, geez. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. They might not have been produced in 2010, but Benchmade still was selling them in 2010.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow. Seems like so long ago.
Well, what's crazy about that is between the end of the 42 and when the Alpha Beast picked up, the Alpha Beast didn't come out production wise until late
2013?
2012.
2012. I remember getting one of the first Alpha Beast at the OKCA show in Oregon. Ed had
Yeah,
mailed
that was the
us.
2.0 because we punted it.
Oh, I remember. I kicked that thing.
Was it you that kicked it?
Oh yeah, it's still my YouTube
I can't
channel, man.
remember.
Oh yeah, I still got that
Oh
video.
man.
And my dumbass black, white, and gray camo pants.
Yeah. Oh man. Talk about a terrible point in all our lives.
Ugh. Yeah, you're not lying.
Oh man. But we yeah, yeah, cuz I specifically remember having that being the 2.0 because
Really, I swear that was before the 1.0 even came out.
no
Well, we
way,
can
man.
discuss that later, though, and there's no point in going into that on this audio recording of a podcast.
Yeah, it's already kind of gone out on a tangent.
It happens.
Realistically, we're trying to keep everything between about 30 minutes. We want to go at least 30 minutes because I think that's the minimum of what most people want because they want to hear genuine conversation. They don't want to
Yeah.
hear, me reading through a list of stuff that I want
Ew.
to ask people. And
Gross.
yeah, I don't want this to be like a Barbara Walters interview either. For the most part, this needs to be kind of like a casual thing where we chill out, hang out, talk ballies.
That's what it needs to be. Just
And
just casual. Want folks to feel like they're hanging out with other people that like Balisong as well.
yeah, I mean, if we end up Joe Roganing this thing and end up on 3-hour conversations, I mean, I won't be complaining.
But I mean,
But
have you ever smoked DMT?
that's crazy, man. Yeah, have you ever smoked DMT?
No, never. Nope.
Oh, jeez. That guy's wild, dude. I really respect what he's able to do because he does so much stuff. I mean, he does yoga every day, I think. He works out pretty much every day. He's on such a strict diet. I believe he started doing the carnivore diet,
Ooh.
which it is a carnivore diet, but I think it's a gross oversimplification of things.
Well,
Um,
well, it doesn't matter what I feel about the man. What I respect about his podcast is when people say, "Hey, did you hear that so and so was on the podcast?" And when people say the podcast, they mean the Joe Rogan Experience. Like he's the not the innovator of them, but he is the most widely known.
he does such a great show. Everything is super smooth. He knows how to interview people, and he lets people be who they are.
Yep.
And like you see somebody come on who he doesn't agree with, he's not going to just back down and not state his opinion or how he feels about things. But he's not going to sit here and berate people either.
Oh yeah. No, I've witnessed that myself listening to his podcast. Whether it be Alex Jones or Bernie Sanders, he
Oh my
treats them all the
God,
same.
the last Alec Jones one was incredible.
I
It's
love that
it's
one for so many different
yeah. I
reasons.
mean, look, Alex Jones is crazy. He even says it on that podcast. You know,
No, he calls himself retarded, not crazy. A
yeah.
little retarded.
No, he says I'm kind of retarded or something like that.
Something like
But
that.
he's not wrong. I mean, if did you see the video of Alex Jones showing up to the Virginia rally with the gun rights and stuff like that?
Oh, and that fucking Hummer or whatever it was.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in like it's called a Gurkha. They make them in Canada, but they're like these little tanks, and they're like they're Humvee tanks. They can take 7.62 rounds, no problem.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and he's sitting out the top of the tank like thing with a blowhorn yelling 1776.
Oh yeah. I saw the videos on Facebook.
1776. Dude, I was just dying.
So with guests we have on, are we going to have like a standard set of questions we ask them? Because a lot of podcasts I listen to, they have a standard set they ask every guest.
I think we will have questions that are going to be similar, but it's not like I want to be running through a bunch of, okay, we have to ask this.
Well,
Or we
no. I
have
mean
to
like
ask
3
that,
questions max. 3 questions.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just about every single time we have a podcast, we're going to be asking our guests questions like, all right, when is your next product going to be available, right?
Okay.
What is the vision for your product? How did you guys get into the Balisong community? When did
Those
you
are great
guys
questions.
realize? Yeah, when did you guys, as either a brand or a flipper or a company, realize that this is something you wanted to be a part of? Because God bless Ed and KZ. I would not want to run a knife company. Not in the least.
I would rather run it with one other partner than being a big business like Benchmade. You know.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do either personally. I just
Well, you have specific roles for, and speaking to BRS specifically, Ed fulfills one role while KZ fulfills another. Both are fulfilling multiple roles, but still, it seems like there's a very clear line drawn between which each of the two are going to fulfill. I think that's a great way to run a business,
yeah.
especially as
Well,
small
that's just
as
like
their
in any
business
business
is.
for the most part. You have to have separation of duties.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
You can't have somebody be like, "Oh, well, I thought so and so was going to get this done." That's just
No, that's bad
not how
business.
things work.
That's lack of communication, which
It
BRS does not have. They have
yeah.
gotten shit done from day one.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, even Jerry Hom. I mean, does he? He doesn't have any very visible or other business partners on the front line. He still gets shit done. You know.
Yeah, Jerry Hom does all of his stuff. It's a lot slower because he does more of his own products and stuff like that.
Well, he outsources the blade grindings to other people.
Yeah, but Jerry isn't running the same kind of company as BRS is.
Oh no, you're 100% correct.
Yeah, BRS is a lot more about pumping out a lot more knives for the community.
Yes.
Jerry Hom he is making knives for the community. I don't want to get that twisted, but his knives are a little more, what should the word be? A little fancier.
Pretty.
Yeah, they're prettier. They're definitely more aesthetically designed.
They're not bad. Balisong by any means.
It's not like he does many runs of the same knife. Like, I don't think he goes back and makes the same knife in a different run. I think like the Spectres, he
Well,
did one
if you
run
look
of
at the
Spectres and that's
Bassar,
it.
there's a couple of different versions of the
Arashis,
Bassar, which is fine. I think knife collectors, knife flippers, they want that kind of thing. They want a variety of the same flavor.
yeah. But he's always
Oh
like
yeah,
progressed on it, right? Like he's always kind of, like the first Bassar I believe was the carbon fiber, and then he came out with the was it the G10 or the
shit, I don't
titanium
know.
after that? I can't remember. And then he might even still be doing those. So I might really just be talking out of my ass, which is not uncommon for me. Yeah,
No,
we
not
all know.
you, Dave.
But yeah, I think that Jerry has done some repeat, but he doesn't do it a lot, especially his early ones.
Oh no, and
It's not like
I
he
wasn't
made.
trying to argue your point that he doesn't do it. I mean, you're 100% correct. BRS does make 13 versions of every knife, and Han may do two, but they're
Yeah,
how do you say they're going after two very different customer bases. While there is some type of Venn diagram overlap between the two, they're going towards two very different customer
yeah.
bases.
There's a large overlap, but people who are wanting to flip their knives over concrete and wanting to beat the shit out
They're
of their
buying one
knives,
of those
they're
two
not.
brands.
Yeah, well, let's just say they're buying BRSs.
Yeah, that's what I buy. That's what I flip, anyways.
Nobody in their right mind is going to be flipping a Jerry Hom over concrete. In fact, it was funny after one of the I can't remember what year it was, but he had the prototype for the Chimera.
Oh, that was let's see, 2019, 18. That
It was
was
like 2 years ago.
2017. Yeah, that was 2017. We had the hot tub up on the second porch. Wait, no,
Yeah, maybe it
that
was
was
that year.
the. Oh Jesus! All
The
they all blend
hot tub,
together.
Jesus Christ.
Well, the
Yeah.
inflatable pool with the hot water from the hot water heater or from the water heater, excuse me,
Oh
on the
man.
second floor deck.
I don't even know if I want to discuss Blade House on the first podcast.
Okay, sorry. We'll go. We should do a whole special episode about Blade House.
Bring O'Leary on.
Oh, I can make that happen. I won't tell him what's going on.
Well, we have to get him to. That's going to be the issue with getting people on. Is we're going to have to make sure they have a way to record their audio separately, like we're doing now.
That's a good point. Yeah.
What we're hearing, guys, is it's not live. We would like to do it live.
No,
but
we wouldn't. No.
I would.
No. Not me. That's all Dave.
You
That's not
just
me.
want to start all over again? Like if we, like right now we're about 30 minutes into this podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm not going live. I can blank my
You would
fucks
want to
out.
start all over again if we completely screw up.
No, that's what post is for. That's what Bill is for. He can edit out all the fuck ups.
Ah, no,
He can
dude.
blank out the
We're
words like retard and fuck that you said a billion
no,
times.
dude. Completely uncensored. No, look, Balisong is not the place for you to bring soft feelings. It's just not. You know, whether we want this place to be, because Lord knows I've tried to create a safe space for everybody, and we all know how that turned out.
Wait. Which safe
It
space are
doesn't
you
work.
talking about? You talking about the trainer page or?
Or the original Balisong Underground, either or.
Yeah, okay.
You know, you you know, you start something like Balisong Underground and tell people that, you got to start treating people with respect and shit like that. And then nobody posts and nobody comments and shit like that.
Yeah, well, no matter what page or what site you have, it's there's going to be a handful of the same people throughout every page, and those people expect to be treated or expect to act out in a certain way that's not entirely within the guidelines of the page, and we're both guilty of it. We both let him slide. Shit happens. Just let it go. And that's, I mean, that's what shaped the Battlesong community. Look at Flipping Arena. We weren't good people. We
Well,
weren't nice to each other.
well, no. Here, the issue with the flipping arena is when we said something to each other, it was always taken as a way that we could improve. If somebody said, "Dude, that shit was garbage,"
Yeah, yeah.
your aerials look like shit. And if somebody got upset that we said that, we either, flame ward them out of the arena,
Yeah.
or they huckered down and said, "Oh, well, fuck these guys! I'm gonna fucking throw the best goddamn aerials that I
All
can."
right, you stupid fuck.
And
I'll show you. I'll show you what I got.
and those were the people who stuck around.
And that's,
You know,
I mean, if you look at the core members of whatever group you choose to pick, that's kind of the personality that has stuck.
yeah, yeah. I mean, at least with the people I hang out with still. I don't hang out with a lot of the Redditors. I don't hang out with a lot
Hell
of the
no.
Instagrammers
Hell no.
and stuff like that. And that's where a lot of the softness has kind of crept in. And
Yeah.
it's hard to say if it's really a bad thing. Obviously, I kind of think it's a bad thing, but if it truly is, I
I'm
mean,
not going to disagree
you're
with
talking
you.
about if, yeah, I mean, we're gonna like start arguing if life is a bad thing eventually. So it's just the way things are progressing, and you got these old guys who are used to really riling each other up and not allowing somebody to have an excuse of why they aren't pushing
And
themselves.
we're
And
outnumbered.
that's all gone.
We're outnumbered in that
Oh yeah.
aspect. We'll rally each other up, whether it's me talking to you or me talking to somebody that joined 2 years ago, and here come these 30 other people from Reddit or Instagram or whatever, and oh, you shouldn't talk to them like that, blah blah blah. It's unfair. You're being mean, and
Yeah.
but that's what I hope to overcome with this podcast. I want people to know that we're not being mean. We're not trying to be malicious to each other. It's
No, 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 no. There are very, very little times that anybody in the Balisong community genuinely is attacking somebody because they don't like them. You know, the only person I know that does that is Holt. Holt's the only person
oh,
I know who'll do
Holty.
that.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you're not
Holt,
wrong.
Holt will be like, "No, fuck this guy. Fuck everything he stands for. This trainer flipping motherfucker."
Well, there's a lot of wild cards in the community as well.
Oh yeah. Will not impersonate me. I'll let everybody else do that when they come on the show.
Oh, that sounds like
Because,
fun. Ooh, that should be a
yeah.
question. We should ask the guest. Hey, do your best impersonation of Dave, and then hey, do your best impersonation of Stu, and then if you know Bill, try to impersonate him.
If you know Bill. Oh, jeez. That's not even right. I think more people know who Billy is than us.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Especially since, like, I would say right around 2015 to 2016, I think is right when me and you kind of started taking a back seat to everything. We started
Yeah, that sounds about right.
watching how things were evolving because,
Yeah, that's when I stopped making videos every week. It was
well,
around
because in
2014, 2015.
2015 was that year at Blade Show where Choker came,
Slash was
O'Leary
there.
came, Slash was there.
Wasn't Nardath there? Or was that the next year?
No, that was the next,
Okay.
because we had the hotel rooms. Remember that?
Okay, Trevor wasn't there then. Trevor was never there at the hotel
Oh yeah,
rooms.
yeah, he was.
What?
Not
I know we got 2 rooms, and I always went to the old man room because I wanted to go to sleep way before everybody else did.
yeah. This was because yeah, Choker was there. That was the first time Easy came. Man, I haven't talked to Easy in forever.
He just kind of fell off the map. We should get him
Yeah,
on sometime.
yeah. I would like to talk to him again. He's a pretty quiet dude. I don't know. Don't know how talkative he could be. I mean, me, you, and Billy could talk up a podcast for an hour and a half every week. I'm
Easy.
sure.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of folks from that era. Well, era. I mean, between 2013 and 2017, I'll say that just aren't as present now as they used to be. But I would still love to hear from them.
Yeah. But kind of back to the earlier point is right around 2015. I think we had about 8 or 9 of us. That
Hmm.
you remember all the photos we have where it's everybody's sitting outside of the pit and they're all lined up on that little bench
Oh, on
and
that brick
Dwayne's
wall?
sticking his foot in. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
2015.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
2015.
I think that was my first dual male kiss. I had Slash and Ashflow
Yeah,
giving me
yeah, because I think
smooches on the
Ashflow, that
cheeks.
was his first year too.
Oh no, Ashflow was there since Oregon. Ashflow's always been around.
Well, I'm talking about Blade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. There at the beginning,
Because,
it was
yeah,
just
he went to 2012 and 2013 out in Oregon. He did both years we went to Oregon, so that was good.
yeah, he's always been a staple. He didn't have a very large online presence, but when it comes to being it shows. Man, that
Who,
dude is
Patrick? Patrick's got more
yeah.
followers than all of us, dude.
That doesn't
Patrick's got
count.
like 11,000 followers, dude. Come
Jesus.
on. Come on now. Yeah, he's a superstar, bro.
I mean, he's
We're
not
we're trash.
as far as daily content or weekly or monthly content. He doesn't pump out what some of the others pump out, but he still has that large following base, which is impressive to me.
Yeah. Well, he did a lot of the Beglieri stuff. If you guys don't know what Beglieri, they're
Is it like a yo-yo?
these. Yeah, it's like this little string that has 2 weights at the end, and
2 weights at each end?
yes, each end has a weight. It could have more than one, but there's a string that's weighted at either end that you manipulate around your fingers and spin around, and a lot of people like it because it's something to do with your hands and it's not a trainer.
Yeah, Ashflow got into the. I thought it was called Beglery. I don't realize it's pronounced that way. But Ashflow got into the Balls Gary, and then Nardath got into the kendama stuff pretty heavy. And hell,
Yeah,
even
he was into
people
the Beglieri.
like Johnny B. Moore, he's gotten into yo-yos pretty heavy recently.
Oh wow, yeah, a lot of these guys have come from a bunch of different places, and I keep getting off track here, but back to the
Yeah, we both
2015
do.
Blade show. That was really the year that everything was still kind of small, and I think it's why a lot of this older guys that kind of withdrew and took a step back because in 2016 was the year that flippers started showing up the Blade show
En
that
masse.
nobody really knew. I mean, that's probably a bit of a stretch, but a lot of the like OGs and stuff like that. I mean, people are coming up to us telling us they've watched us forever and just having no idea who they are.
Well, that was like the first year. 2016, anyways, was the first year where you would walk outside of the back end of Blade Show, where the
Oh, the
Valley
smoke
is
pit
hosted now. Yeah, and there's just kids everywhere flipping knives.
everywhere.
No idea where they came
Dude,
from.
and even 2016 was not a lot of people.
I mean, not in contrast to 2019, but it seems to be oh geez, I'm failing to find words now, but it seems to it seems to have multiplied every year since then exponentially since
yeah,
2016.
yeah. it has seemed like growth amongst the Bali community. While it's still positive growth, it's not this crazy upward swing that we've had since pretty much, I would say, about 2010 or so. Everything kind of really took off between about 2007 and 2010. Like things like kind of rocketed off.
Well, that was an even growth between '07 and 2010, and 20 hell even 2011 and 2012 is when things seemed to grow exponentially. It wasn't just plus one, plus two every year.
Yeah, well, kind of what happened is you had Kick Ass come out in 2010.
I love that movie.
I'm glad you do.
Fucking love that movie.
But you remember this very well that when that movie came out, that was maybe weeks after the 42 was discontinued and off
Ugh,
the market.
that's what caused the prices to be what they are now. So says some
Well,
people.
yeah, not only that, but I think that's really when a huge influx of people got interested in ballad songs is because they saw Hit Girl on a movie. I believe it made millions in the box office. It was like,
I would hope so. It was a great movie.
yeah, it did really well. Nicolas Cage, I can't remember the girl's name or the other guy's name.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah, I knew you would.
The other guy is like Silverback or Flashback or whatever in the Marvel universe. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, he always reminds me of McLovin from Superbad.
No.
But yeah, everybody saw Hit Girl get the ballad songs, and she did like some basic fanning openings or whatever. And
And she was very specific about what knife she asked for. Was the Benchmade model BM42.
yeah, I remember. Like, I haven't even seen the movie, but I saw the scene where
I
Nicolas
got it on my
Cage is
shelf
like,
right here.
but yeah, Nicolas Cage is asking her a bunch of questions about the knife, making sure like she's done her research and whatever. And
No, 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 no. He asks her what she wants for her birthday, and she says she wants ponies and unicorns and blah blah blah. And she goes, "Oh, I'm just fucking with you. I want Benchmade Balisong model BM42, blah blah blah."
But
And then
after she got them, right? Because like,
no, that was when they were at the diner, and that was before he even presented her with them in that Jerry Hom type of phone case.
but like when she got them, right? I thought they were at like a like the lab where they had all the weapons and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I thought, well, whatever. He's asking her a bunch of questions. I thought, and
Oh, he's
she's,
asking her a bunch of questions about guns and ammo and shit like that.
huh. Anyway, it's been a while since I've watched that.
I'm gonna watch it after we get done with this.
I'm not. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I need to take my sleeping pill.
That sucks, dude.
Better than
How long you been
alcohol.
dealing with that? Oh,
Yeah, trying to stop drinking to go to sleep, so I've switched to Unisom at night to help me go to sleep.
yeah. It's a rough spot. I was like that with my anxiety medication for a while. I reduced that a ton lately, man. I'm super
Nice.
pumped about it. Um, still every now and again it flares up, and I got to take it, which sucks because,
I mean, that's fine. That's
well,
cool.
anybody who has ever had to take a benzodiazepine knows that once you take one, you're kind of just like taking half of your panic attack or an anxiety attack and just shifting it down the road.
Yep.
Is really all that ends up happening. But if you do it right, it can really be beneficial. If you have to be taking them, a couple times a day, you're going to be in trouble, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember. I've traded cold water for alcohol and waking up a little groggy instead of waking up hungover. So I feel like it's a win-win for me. I think that's a
Yeah,
good note to end this on, huh? Got a little bit real at the end.
yeah. Some real life flipper stuff.
Yeah, pulling back the curtains there a little bit.
But yeah, lots of people have problems. In fact, like up until like 2010 or something like that, benzodiazepines were the most prescribed drug in the United States.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, it's super high on it. So
Here, shut up, take your pill. Fuck off, come see me in 3
yeah,
months, right?
it's something I really didn't want to get hooked on, and I never really did.
None of us want to get hooked on anything, dude. Trust
Yeah,
me, I know.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that they make you kind of feel bad about. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because, it's like, oh, hey, take this. It's like, oh, well, you don't want to take it all the time. Well, what is it, man? Like, should I take it or should I not? But
So we gonna have Bill next episode? We gonna do it Sunday next week?
yeah, um, who knows when this
Because he
one's going to
seems
be
to be
out?
busy every fucking day except for Sundays.
Yeah, he seems to be busy a lot. So we'll see how that
Motherfucker.
goes. Maybe if we have to do it without him for a while, we'll do it. But I can free up my nights pretty easily. I think the only nights that I can't is like Friday.
Yeah, Fridays and Saturdays are pretty much the only nights I'm unsure about. Every other night of the week, I'm down.
Yeah, so nights are super good for me. Billy's like a super hardcore gamer, so
Nerd.
yeah, he's doing stuff with his work on the computer all day, and then
He has friends like an asshole.
yeah, well, they're just kind of like how me and you were friends. They're just like internet friends. But
Oh, I thought they were real life friends.
yeah, you're not really my friend, to be honest.
Oh, Dave.
You're just an internet friend, buddy.
I'm not your buddy guy.
I'm not your guy, friend. Well, I think we should go ahead and call it. I think I think the two guys we'll try to have on next time are either going to be Paul Factora, maybe one of the BRS guys. I don't know if you got anybody else in mind. Maybe a flipper. Maybe we could even bring on.
I would like to bring flippers on. People like Choker, Assflow,
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah. I think Trick is finding somebody who's available.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the eliminating factor of Flies people is when they're available.
Yeah,
And even if we have to record more than once a week to kind of put shit in reserve, that's cool too.
yeah. I'm fine with that. We'll just have to kind of think about it and not talk about stuff that's too far in the past.
Yeah. Good luck.
All right. Well, speaking of the past, we're going to be in it. Peace out, guys. Balisong Underground podcast.
Love you, Dave.
Love you too, Feenx. Peace out, guys.
Peace.